Hello Taurus, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Taurus for the rest of July. Now do keep in mind this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Taurus, let's go ahead and get into this reading here for you. See what's coming forward for you here for this mid-July update, Taurus. Do hope you are making the most of this month of July, and as always, I hope things are going well for you. Hope you're doing the things you want to be doing. We'll go ahead and get all the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. All right. All right, I think that's looking just about good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, Taurus. You do have the King of Wands. I love this King of Wands energy in the tarot. You know, the King of Wands is somebody who kind of lives life on their own terms, you know? They are somebody who's all about like freedom and independence. And really, you could say that freedom and independence are kind of their most important things. And that is attached to work for the King of Wands. So what I'm thinking here is that some of you here, you basically, if you're feeling chained down, tied down, overwhelmed by your work scenario, some of you might be making a change here at some point. Maybe it takes July, you know, all of July. Maybe it's a little bit into August. But some of you may be like really changing something up. This is the entrepreneur of the tarot, the King of Wands. Okay, this is somebody who kind of lives life on their own terms. And you know, the reason that they are able to kind of be in a position to do that is that they are oftentimes the most talented person in the room. And so I think I am talking to talented people. I think I'm talking to people who have a good skill set. And yeah, now if you're not of working age, right? So like it's a comment I get a lot on my channel. Like if you're not of working age, what could the King of Wands connect to? Well, it can literally connect to creating space for doing the things you want to be doing. You know, creating space, creating freedom, creating independence in your life outside of just the work timeline. But Wands connects to work many times. And it also may suggest that you're feeling really inspired by something as well, like you have a new energy about you. So, you know, or even you're feeling like you have a surplus of energy to sort of like put into something or funnel into something. These sorts of things could show up here with the King of Wands for you at this time as well. You have a really good reading. I definitely like what I see for you based on the just quick overview, the quick glance here of the 9 cards that I see. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Speaking of 9, you do have the 9 of Pentacles here in the middle. And speaking of independence, I've typically found that 9s in the tarot connect to independence, or it connects to you, okay? It connects to the self. And the 9 of Pentacles in particular is a card of financial independence in the tarot, okay? So you have this idea of like freedom loving, you know, this desire to create your own path, to create independence. This is a good combination to find, the King of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles. So I think that in some ways, this is part of your storyline. Now, the 9 of Pentacles, it can also say that maybe some of you are enjoying some luxuries in life. This may look like a leisure trip. Some of you, maybe even you're going on a cruise here as you have the 6 of Swords. I know that's very specific, but you know, there could be this idea of like a leisure trip or doing something that you've wanted to do for you for a long time, right? Like, and the reason you can do this is because you've put yourself in this position to do this for yourself, right? With the 9 of Pentacles and the King of Wands. So in some respects, the 9 of Pentacles it's one of my favorite money cards in the tarot, because this person they've quite literally created the life for themselves that they've wanted to create. And some of you may be taking the steps to get there, as we have aces on, or we have an ace here on the board, if you're not there yet, and some of you may already be there. In the first column, you have the Queen of Cups, you have the Hierophant, and you have the you have the Eight of Pentacles. So you do have the 8 and the 9 of Pentacles. You have two cards I really, really look for when I feel like I'm speaking to talented people, right? Like highly skilled, highly talented people. The 8 of Pentacles and the King of Wands. So I definitely think that this could be a part of your situation right now. Like maybe you're absolutely hitting it out of the park when it comes to a project, either in your own personal life if you're not working, or at work, or if you own a business. Some of you may be like really, really making progress here. The 9 of Pentacles, sorry, the 8 of Pentacles is not just about talent. It's also about progress, promotion, and making strides in your career, employment situation, or just generally in your life. Now, this can also indicate dedication, okay? 8 of Pentacles may really, really indicate dedication. And I think that some of you are, as I look at this here, the Hierophant and the King of Wands, some of you may be trying to do something in a way that is non-traditional, okay? The Hierophant is this idea of tradition, but I think some of you may be breaking free from tradition here with the Hierophant and the King of Wands, okay? Some of you could really, really be breaking free from tradition here. Would not be surprised to hear that either, okay? And, yeah. I think that there's this idea of taking an unconventional path or doing something that maybe even just you have not traditionally done might be showing up here, okay? And I think that you may be dedicated to this at this time. I think that, when I'm talking about something like this, it's either you're like at a critical point in that process, or this is going to play out for you over the coming months, but you're like really making steps towards it at this time. You then here have the Queen of Cups. This can be somebody who's a really good listener. This can also ask you to really, speaking of listening, listen to your intuition. Okay, listen to your intuition around this. I really love what's coming forward for you here at this time, Taurus. Why don't we go ahead and let's move into the middle column here. You have the 5 of Wands, you have the 9 of Pentacles, and you also have the 6 of Swords. Okay, so 5 of Wands, I got this immediate hit, this immediate message that you are really mentally conflicted, okay? The 5 of Wands, it represents a conflict in one's life, okay? But in this upper row can indicate the mind, okay? Or what's going on in your thoughts. And I think there's a mental conflict around all of this. I almost think that some of you, how do I say this? I know what the phrase is. I know what I'm like looking for. I'm like searching my brain for it. It's almost like some of you feel like you don't deserve this, okay? It's almost like a self-sabotage type of energy is what I'm kind of feeling here. There's maybe some self-sabotage going on because, and by the way, I think that this is like just a normal thing. Not everybody self-sabotages, but I feel like many people have sort of like been in this position where we feel like we don't deserve it, but you want to do something different. And maybe there's someone in your ear saying, oh no, keep doing what you're doing. You've always done this. Why would you change? Or even just you're in your own head about the shift that you want to make, right? Like something like this is going on where, you may be preventing yourself from making this happen. You have this 9 of Pentacles and this 8 of Pentacles. It's like a super solid combination with the King of Wands and the Hierophant for doing something else. And I would say maybe some of you want to analyze or look at this sort of voice in your head, or maybe there's even a person here in your situation that's like telling you no. You may want to take a look at this. You then also have the 6 of Swords here, which the 6 of Swords, that can indicate a transition in one's life. It's also just this idea of like sailing forward, I do like to say it's a travel card. I sort of like mentioned this idea of a cruise, right? It's the closest card to like being on a ship in the tarot here. As you see, the family's in the boat. They're transitioning to somewhere new. So I'm just kind of putting this together, this idea of like luxury with the Nine of Pentacles and this image of the Six of Swords. Maybe some of you are doing some leisure travel, or you're doing something nice for yourself at this time. But I think that this is more about something, the old guard is leaving you, okay? There's a new wave that's coming in right now, okay? I feel like some of you are letting go of the old way of doing something. The Hierophant is the old traditional way of doing something. Sometimes that is good, right? Sometimes that is good. But there are other times where we just feel this inescapable feeling that we have to break free. Like we need to break free. Like, and there's nothing that we can do to escape that feeling, you know? And it feels like there's this new wave that's coming in for you during this period of time. You know, it might be something as simple as I'm gonna try my hand at self-employment, as you have the Entrepreneur of the Tarot, the King of Wands, on the bottom, as I already have sort of mentioned here. And we'll see how that plays out for you, but one thing for sure, I do think, based on this reading, I'm talking to people who, certainly it's not a skill issue. Like, it's definitely not a skill issue. It's not a talent issue. It's something else. Let me explain more. You have the Judgment card, the Ace of Swords, and the Four of Cups here. It's the Five of Wands and the Four of Cups. This is the thing. The Four of Cups is, this person is missing the boat. Okay, this person's missing the boat. The universe is like just trying to speak to them. You know, they're giving them a cup. They're giving them an opportunity. This is the hand of God or the hand of the universe, and they're just rejecting it. You know, the Four of Cups is this idea of like, do not miss out on the opportunities in front of you. Okay, because you never know how long this cup will stay here. So if you feel like you've built enough momentum, and this is something that you've always wanted to do, the cards are saying, you know, why not? And maybe some of you are a little bit concerned about like failing. I have a lot of thoughts on this idea of failure. I'll just say that, like, you know, failure is just a necessary part of our experience. And, you know, sometimes the wrong train leads you to the right station. So this is something that, you know, it's better to fail, and it's better to attempt something and fail than it is to do nothing, which the Four of Cups person is sort of like in this energy of doing nothing. So you then here have the Ace of Swords, which can indicate a new beginning in one's life. It's a card that also indicates success and victory. You then have the Judgment card, which is this idea of an epiphany. I think that some of you are going to have a come to Jesus or like this aha moment where you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to do this for me, number 9, Nine of Pentacles. I'm going to do this for me, and if it works out, I'll be over the moon, and if it doesn't work out, I know that I'm going to be rerouted to the right place that I need to go. Okay? So why don't we go ahead and let's take a look at the clarifications here, Taurus. We'll go ahead and see what's showing up here in the Oracle cards, and then we'll move into the Tarot clarifications as well. All right? All right, let's see what we have here. Okay, you have if you believe on the bottom. Energy on the bottom is if you believe. Yeah, I mean, belief in yourself is kind of like what I was trying to get to with that Five of Wands in the upper row. The Five of Wands, it can indicate like this idea of a mental conflict, but I was talking about how like there's this self-sabotage or this like voice in your head that's like, oh no, why don't I just keep doing the comfortable thing? But this idea of like having belief in yourself, I think, is really important at this time. You get more information and compromise. Okay, let's see here. Get more information and compromise. Get more information and compromise. I almost feel like you have everything you need. I'm getting like magician energy here. Let's see. We have within the next few months. That makes sense to me. And forgiveness. Forgive yourself here. Remember, we're connecting this reading back to the self. Okay. Because this middle card is really important, and it's a 9. Okay, so like a lot of these cards are going to connect to this idea of like, what are you doing for you? Okay, and within the next few months, I do feel like this is going to take a little bit time to sort of manifest and percolate for you. You then here have take action and perfect timing. Okay, as soon as you take one step, all the universe will conspire to get you to where you want to go. okay? Take action, perfect timing. Let go of this Four of Cups energy. Let go of this waiting around. Let go of this like idea of, you're not worthy of this, all of this like self-limiting behavior, and believe in yourself. And it feels like as soon as you take action on something, all of the universe is going to conspire to get you to where you need to go. Let's go ahead and let's clarify these tarot cards. Now, Taurus, I do hope you're doing well, and I really do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. All right. All right, let's see here. All right. You have the Queen of Wands, you have the Five of Pentacles, and you also have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Queen of Wands, King of Wands. That is a counterpart in the tarot. I definitely like that. It's definitely a good love message when you find a counterpart like that. This can indicate you finding somebody that's kind of like on the same frequency as you. This would also be a very exciting partnership as well. If you're here for love, this would be something that like maybe it's not forever, as the King and the Queen of Wands have a lot of suitors, but it's exciting. It's passionate, it's fiery. We'll see if there are any other love messages here, but yeah, some of you, that could certainly be the case. Now, since many of you, this reading is not a love reading, the King and the Queen of Wands may suggest that you are partnering up with somebody as well. On a different level, if it's just the Queen of Wands, this is all about confidence, okay? The Queen of Wands is all about confidence in oneself. And this is a big theme for you here, Taurus, I think that this is the crux of this message, which is you want to do something so totally different. The Five of Pentacles and the Hierophant. Look, the Five of Pentacles, this person is literally out in the cold, right? This person feels like they have nothing. And this is connected to the Hierophant, which is this idea of tradition. Okay, this is the old guard, the way that things used to be, or the way that you were raised, or the way that you used to do something. And it's just not where you want to be with that Five of Pentacles. You just really don't want to be there anymore. And the message is like, have the confidence and the self-belief that you can initiate a change. The double aces here. I knew we were going to have aces. I think I even said aces, even though we had one ace, right? With the Ace of Pentacles, you're planting a seed here, and it's based around the knowledge that you've gained, the talents that you have, the skills that you've acquired, these sorts of things. Another ace. You have the Ace of Swords again. You have the Nine of Wands, and you also have the Five of Wands. All right, we have a 9 clarifying a 9. What did I say? So like this reading, these 9s are really, really important, okay? Even I had like recently, I don't know, this must have happened in the last 3-4 weeks, something like that, where I just kind of connected this idea of the 9s. I have epiphanies all the time, but recently, like in my own tarot reading, I had this like epiphany where like, yeah, the 9s really are about you, and it felt like the Nine of Pentacles was really, really important. And now you have a Nine of Wands. Okay, clarifying that. So this is all about you, okay? And the Nine of Wands, it says that some of you here, the worst thing you could do when you get the Nine of Wands is give up, because you have made it so far up to this point. Okay, you've planned, you've prepared, you've put in the work, you've gained experience, you've put in the hours, you've put in the sweat equity, so to speak, and now what are you going to do? Throw that all away, right? So the Nine of Wands says, continue, push forward. And you have it around this idea of self-sufficiency, financial independence, the ability to walk on your own towards something, and to not really need to rely on others, at this time, to initiate this new beginning here, as you have triple aces, Ace of Swords twice with the Ace of Pentacles. It's smart to definitely have a network. It's smart to have mentorship. It's smart to, lean on the people who came before you, and I'm a huge fan of all of those things. But at the same time, we're talking about an issue here that is about you initiating a change, and you initiating a change in a direction that is what would be considered non-traditional, particularly for you. So this is the whole thing here. And then we have the Five of Wands again. The transition wants to happen, but you're resistant to it here with this Five of Wands. You keep sort of like fighting against it. And I think that's normal, especially when you make a big change. You have the Chariot, you have the Magician, and then you also have the Six of Cups. Okay, so look, this energy of boredom that's found in the Four of Cups, or this rejection of the opportunity that is in front of you, may be derived from a past pattern, which many people carry with them through life, certainly through into adulthood. The reason I say that is the Six of Cups. You're looking at the patterns that have led up to why you are in this position now. And some of those patterns could have led you to this Nine of Pentacles. Some of those patterns could have led you to success. But for whatever reason, right now, some of you want something else, and there's a pattern here that is leading to rejection, okay? And it's rejection of what you want to be doing. And it's self-rejection, right? It's self-sabotage, something along these lines. The good news is this can all be worked through, okay? The good news is there is not another person on the other end of this that is saying no, okay? Now that I've clarified, this is you, okay? This is you who can really simply work through this and initiate a major change. You then have the Magician here, which is all about manifestation and taking action towards your dreams, goals, manifestations, and visions. You then finally have the Chariot, which is another card of success, and this idea of taking action as well with the Chariot. So you have this take action card, now you have the Chariot. This is all looking very, very good for you, and look at this. You have the Star, wish fulfillment. Pretty big wish, dream, and goal that could be coming in for you here with the Star. Okay. Yeah. I think that's what I have to say about this. The Star can also represent synchronicities, okay? I would really pay attention to the signs that you're getting, you know, the dreams that you're having, the repeating numbers that you're seeing. If these happen for you during the rest of this month as well. Star's a super positive card. Let's see what else we have. Let's take a look at the Kipper energies for you here, Taurus. Okay, you have official person, you have child, message, false person, great fortune, and distant horizons. Guess what, Taurus? So in this reading, you are showing up as the false person. Why is that? Because you are the sole sort of like determiner here that is preventing you from initiating this path, right? You want to do something different. You want to do something unconventional. You want to start that business. You want to try doing this. You want to try doing that. And this false person is some previous pattern here that is blocking the potential. And I think that this is a really good problem to have, because it means that the fact that I'm reading this means that it's showing up as awareness for you, meaning you are aware of this pattern, or you're about to be aware of this pattern. And this is something that can really, really be, what is the right term? Work through, okay? So you then have official person and child. The child card is, again, the past experience here, the pattern that's showing up, okay? Great Fortune is the best card in the Kipper. Distant Horizon says that the future is bright for you. You may be getting some important communication from somebody who can be in a position to help you, Taurus. I absolutely love this reading. I haven't had a reading like this for a long time. Wow. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.